Let us welcome Mr. Zaid Omar.
Hello everyone, my name is Zaid, and today I'll be talking about PhD. Now the idea for this came about when I was doing my PhD a few years ago. In the middle of those very stressful and hopeless moments, I found myself questioning numerous times, what am I doing here? What is the nature of this PhD business that I'm supposed to be so well versed about? And so I dug a little deeper and I did some research into the science of PhD, as you may say, and what I found was really, really interesting. The degree of the Doctor of Philosophy, or PhD, is the highest awarded academic degree in the world. It usually consists of 3 years of independent research, which is then summarized in a thesis or dissertation, and at the end of which you're supposed to defend your work in a viva voce examination. A PhD denotes authority in a specific field of research, the ability to teach and profess within that field, but most of all, most importantly, a PhD denotes that an original contribution has been made. Now, the term original contribution may be misleading to some. Some might even overestimate the concept, what it means for original contribution. They might think that research must be groundbreaking, paradigm shifting, record smashing in order for it to qualify as a PhD. But that is not the case at all. As an example, Albert Einstein and Karl Marx, both heavyweights in their field, wouldn't you agree? But did you know that their PhD theses were actually very average in comparison? But what it did do was that it provided a sound basis, a foundation for their achievements later on in life. Now, allow me to share with you some graphics to further illustrate my point. And this idea was originally adapted from the website mat.mite.net. Let's just put this here. Now, to begin with, let's imagine a circle that contains all of human knowledge in existence. And imagine that each section of the circle represents a discipline of knowledge. So for example, this is engineering, this is medicine, biology, history, law, and so on. Okay, now when you were little, you knew a little bit about everything. Wouldn't you agree? Your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, etc. So put this here. And as you get older and you go to school, you knew a little bit more. Like so. Now, doing your bachelor's degree, you gain a specialty. So in my case, my bachelor's degree was in electrical engineering, so that is my specialty. Like so. And doing a master's degree, it deepens that specialty. And now embarking upon a PhD and reading journal papers and doing really original work, it takes you right to the edge, to the frontiers of human knowledge within that field, where everything may be so narrow and specific and not many people understand, let alone appreciate the work that you're trying to do. But nonetheless, once you're here, you focus. And at this point, you push and you push at that boundary for a few years until one day, that boundary gives way. It breaks. And that little dent that you've made relative to the whole circle of human knowledge, that is your original contribution, and that is your PhD. So collectively, what we're doing is that little by little, we are together expanding the circle of human knowledge. So imagine how big this circle may be in the future with the help of research and PhD. So that is my presentation. Thank you all very much.
Feedback, questions from the judges?
Not so much of a question, more of a comment.
Sure.
I like the fact that you brought up one very important point, which is in the search for knowledge, it is not always a success that can be considered a breakthrough. Sometimes a failure is always can be considered a breakthrough as well. As the old quote goes, when people ask Thomas Alva Edison,
Yes.
you know, how many times did he
999.
Yeah.
One.
How many times did he try to make a light bulb? He said, no, I didn't learn one way to make a light bulb. I learned 1,001 ways not to make a light bulb. So yes, I think you did bring up a very important point, which in the search of knowledge, it is not always a successful experiment that can be considered new knowledge. Even a failure can be considered new knowledge. Kudos for that, yeah.
I wrote here inspiring.
Okay.
I enjoyed the whole presentation and the use of, what do you call that? Props, yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, really, I must say. Very good presentation.
Thank you.
Doctor, congratulations. The moment I saw Imperial College, I told myself that I must congratulate. I've been in the media for more than 20 years, but every time I meet exceptional people, it's not easy to get into Imperial. We know the level that's pitched on. For you to come back and now stand here and deliver a smooth presentation, I further commend you on that.
Thank you.
But if I have to make a suggestion,
Okay.
I would like for you to link it to an example where all that you have presented will make a difference
All right. Okay.
to people, to the layman,
Okay.
via maybe changing the way we look at universities
Yes.
and our PhD programs,
Yes.
and how does that help people in like the small village in Perlis where I come from. That last mile,
I'm
if
also from Perlis.
yes, great people come from, almost same place. So, congratulations again. And if you can add that last bit, please. And since you're from Perlis, we can put that as a crony thing to do, and you can contact me anytime. we can brush up on that. And even if you don't go all the way for this year, please come back next year and, put that zest, that last mile in. And I think you can beat anybody in the world, even in the finals in the UK, if you do that.
Thank you for
Congratulations.
that. Thank you so much.
Okay. With that, thank you, Dr. Zaid.